and do not have knowledge of the purpose.
They don't know about it. Yes.
So this is why it's very important, when you talk about purpose, it's extremely important knowing this. And so I think, and when you talk about the education system and you're talking about career,
you actually need a break. You need time for yourself. You need time to think about what is happening. And as we were talking about why, और हमें ये भी बताएं कि जो ऑडियंस हमें देख रही है वो कैसे इन्वॉल्व हो सकती है.
हम जो परिंदा है उसको कहते हैं कि तुम अब तैरो, ये मच्छी को कहते हैं उड़ो. जैसे मैंने अब 8 साल में करके दिखाया एक मिस्ट, ये आयनाइज्ड अल्कलाइन वाटर के साथ हमने फ़लस्तीन के साथ जोड़ा.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम. So, Dr. Adeel, we would like to know about you more. As in the previous podcast, we knew about the Academy of Champions. So, would like to know about what is the end goal of Academy of Champions.
So, the end goal of the Academy of Champions is to create high-performing personalities. Essentially, what my dream is to create 313 serial social entrepreneurs. That's the end goal.
All right, that is the end goal. All right, and what do you see in your Academy of Champions? How you think that, how many of you have target of that this is what I want to achieve in the Academy of Champions?
So I mean, at the moment we are doing these monthly retreats for the last 6 years. So I did one a year in Islamabad. And then after that, the rest of the time I spent in Lahore. So, I mean, the 313 target, we had our first graduate this year. So, it's not easy. So,
exactly.
Being a graduate of the Academy of Champions is not easy by any stretch of the imagination. It requires you to sit 20 hours for a full weekend at the end of every month. So
right.
A lot of people don't have the stamina, and then after that they have to sit through 12 modules and listen to me, which is the toughest thing. So they have to put up with me for a full year. So it's not the easiest of things to do. But the whole point is that I'm assessing their stamina. Do they have the stamina to perform at a high level?
Exactly.
So that's the main thing. So it's about producing high-performing personalities, social serial entrepreneurs, and ideally polymaths as well. So.
All right, that's so good. Okay, so we'd like to know about the personal development. Like, what do you think? Why is it so important?
So, why is personal development important?
Yes.
So, the personal development, I believe, is important because only once you have mastered yourself, can you master others.
Exactly, that is so true.
Okay.
I believe it.
Yeah, so only once you master yourself can you master others. I mean, if it's often like if your glass is empty, how can you fill other people's glass?
Exactly.
So I think personal development, a lot of people would ask, and when I went on my journey, when I was discovering what is the way to become a high performer, I realized that personal development was critical, and linked to that is education. I think education is very important. Education isn't knowing or memorizing books, in Pakistan, which we call Ratta system.
Exactly.
I don't think that's true education. I think education, as beautifully was put by Confucius in the 5th century BC. He mentioned that education breeds confidence, confidence breeds hope, hope breeds peace.
All right.
And in the 13th century, Ibn Rushd, Averroes, he mentioned that ignorance leads to fear, fear leads to hate, hate leads to violence.
Yes.
He said this is the equation.
Yes.
Now, in the last couple of days, at the time of the recording this podcast, we've had 2 people murdered in the US. Now, in a country which is the so-called standard bearer of liberty, freedom, and peace, so-called peace, standard bearers, how is it that in that society you now have murder, which is common? It's becoming common. And it fundamentally goes down to the erosion of the true education system, in my opinion.
Okay, as you're talking about education system in Pakistan, like what do you think? How is the education system, and are you satisfied with it?
No, so this is why my dream is to produce the Academy of Champion University. The idea is to produce a university where we can create the environment where these high performers can perform. I mean, one of the statistics that if you sit, I think 25 feet in a high performance company, then your performance increases 15%. You know, so it's about creating that environment. And one of my dreams is to create a university in Pakistan that will eclipse anything that exists at the moment. So, and inshallah, we're working on that. And it's about creating that, you know, institution. Because here's the thing, institutions don't create people, people create institutions.
Exactly.
हम कहते हैं ना लोग अदारे बनाते हैं, लोग अदारे बनाते हैं, अदारे लोग नहीं बनाते. You know, it's not that way around, because the thing is, if you look at the model of Medina at the time of Prophet ﷺ, you know, it was the people, it was him, it was the Sahaba that created that, you know, that foundation in Medina that led to the progress of society and civilization. And then they went on to defeat the two superpowers, the Romans and the Persians. But it was the people that created the institution. It wasn't the institution created the people. And this is what we're lacking in Pakistan. In Pakistan, in 8 years, I've not seen any strong institutions. You know, we have very poor institutions and, you know, management more than leadership. I've hardly seen any leadership. So, and why do we not see leaderships? Because it takes leaders to produce leaders. But I've not seen leaders in Pakistan, I'll be honest. Very rare or very little. I mean, if someone asked me to name 5 genuine leaders who I believe are in Pakistan, I would struggle. Because I believe that we are going through a leadership crisis. And fundamentally why that is because there's so much fear induced in us. I mean, you know, when I go to certain institutions, they say that, oh, someone will pick us up and take us. If we go dala aega, tha ke le jayega. So there's so much fear amongst our children that their creative faculties do not get unlocked.
That is not the leadership which you just said, na? This will happen and they have a fear. Fear is not the leadership. Is it right?
Yes, leaders basically overcome their fears. Leaders are people that go on to shape on the next direction for the next generation. So they are people that overcome their fears. They overcome the uncertainty, the doubts. I mean, it's not that leaders don't have fears. They have fears, but they overcome them.
They overcome their fears, exactly.
You know, they believe more in faith rather than fear. So I think these are the things. But going back to the education system and why Academy of Champions, I think that I realized quite early on that there are certain things missing from the education system. So when I finished my PhD at the age of 26, when I was in Manchester, I realized that there are certain things that are not taught in the education system at all.
Exactly.
For example, finding your purpose. You know, they will tell you how many stars there are in the skies, how many galaxies there are. They tell you how many blades of grass there are. They tell you how many drops there are in an ocean. But when you ask them what's your purpose, you know, the scientists or the researchers go silent. They go blank.
They don't know.
Yeah. So that's one of the most fundamental things. I think that's one of the critical things, finding your purpose. Secondly, there's, you know, they do time management classes, etc. But in reality, it's not about time. It's about your energy. Because time is a phenomenon that once it goes, it cannot come back. So how can you manage that? Whereas energy is something that's renewable. You know? So, and again, that's not taught. That's something I had to learn. And then you have your health.
Yes, health.
You know, you see the youth and they are indulging in largely acidic food. And then they end up with chronic illnesses. And then they wonder what's wrong with us. And I was one of those. So I've been there. You know, when I finished my master's, I was drinking 2 liters of tea with, I think, 16 spoons of sugar every day.
All right.
And that contributed to the decline in my health. So I've been there. When you are young and you're ambitious and you want to do things, you will use things like, you know, tea, stimulants, you'll use, you know, Red Bull and all this sort of stuff. But the thing is, it does more damage than good.
Yeah.
Short term is okay, maybe, you know, once in a while, but continuously, it's not good for you. So health is another important topic which I believe that people aren't really educated about. And lastly, finances. Everyone is running after finances, but financial education is not really part of the education system. I mean, they'll teach you how to make money for others,
Yes.
but they will really teach you how to make money for yourself.
That is a really important point. That is a really important point, and it is not like there in the universities, and it is also not there like they don't even know about their career, the
Yeah.
career development, how to choose your career, what do you want to become. This is not really there, right?
Yeah, so I mean, one of the key things that we cover
Hmm.
in the Academy of Champions in Module 1,
Yes.
finding your purpose, is called Ikigai. Ikigai
Yes.
means the reason for being.
Yes, it's Japanese way.
Japanese, yeah.
Yes.
It's a Japanese word that
Hmm.
means reason for being, and it's composed of four things essentially: your mission, your profession, your vocation, and mission, vocation, profession, and passion. So these four things make up your Ikigai. So we explore this in our course. You know, we go through this journey where we ask you and prompt you to unleash or unravel your purpose in life. And so I think it's very important that we are taught about purpose, because Muhammad Ali, the great boxer, he said that 10 people with the knowledge of their purpose are more powerful than 1,000 people who work morning till evening and do not know their purpose.
Yes.
So 10 people who have the knowledge of their purpose are more powerful than 1,000 people who work morning till evening and do not have knowledge of the
yeah,
purpose.
they don't know about it. Yes.
So this is why it's very important. You know, when you talk about purpose, it's extremely important knowing this. And so I think, and when you talk about the education system and you're talking about career options, I mean, we must be more reflective.
Yes.
You know, in general, humanity, and if I talk about the Muslims, we are very reactive, we're not reflective. You know, anything that happens, we completely react. We don't,
yes, without thinking.
We don't reflect.
Yes.
Because if you reflect, you will find most of the answers that exist. Because, for example, there are 200 nations on the planet. When I did this exercise, I questioned, why was I sent to a Pakistani family? If the creator wanted, he could have sent me to a Greek family, a French family, a German family, a British family, a American family, or Australian family. But why was it that I was sent to a Pakistani family? Why was I sent here? Then, you know, there are 4,300 religions. You know, why is it that you were sent as a Muslim or whichever religion you were, you know, ended up being brought up in? And then there are 6,700 languages. How many languages do we know? We might know 2, 3.
2 or 3, that's it.
Yeah. So why is it that we don't know the rest of the 6,697 languages? So the point is, there must be a purpose. You know, there are 12,000 career options. Why is it that you ended up doing engineering or law or dentistry or medicine or mass communication or, you know, why did you not end up doing the 11,999 other options?
Yes.
There must be a reason.
Exactly.
So the more we reflect as, you know, as an individual, the more self-awareness we have. The more self-awareness we have, the more greater your personality is unleashed. So, I mean, this is something that's missing. I think the youth in general, if I would suggest something, it would be to reflect more. Spend more time in nature, reflect more. You will find a lot of the answers that you're seeking.
The really important part, which is like purpose, and which is like finding your purpose. Like, what would you say about it? Finding your purpose.
Finding your purpose. So this is a module that is starting at the end of this month. So just in 2 weeks' time, we will be our, I think, 7th or 8th cohort will be enrolling. And we will be starting our, you know, journey within ourselves. So, you know, starting on with this personal development. And the first module in personal development is finding your purpose. So the thing is, what are the pain points in in society. Why is this module so important? I mean, how high is the depression rate?
Too much. These days, it's so common.
See, so in the youth, depression is increasing, anxiety, tension, stress. Parents are confused what to do with their children. And did you know that there was a research done in 2012? There was research by Gallup in 2012, which said that 87% of the people around the world, they hate or they dislike their jobs.
Oh my God.
87%, almost 90, almost 90% of the people hate or dislike their jobs. Now, in a world where 90% of the globe does not enjoy what they're doing, how can we be prosperous? How can we become an abundant civilization?
Yes.
So this is why it's critical. I mean, a lot of people would ask me, why is it that I'm able to perform at a high level? And it's due to clarity. It's due to clarity. I mean, but that clarity did not come overnight.
Exactly, it won't.
It was a process. It was a process of traveling approximately 17 countries, trying to understand different cultures, different walks of life, trying to reflect on the universe and creation. And then, there's a voice inside you that guides you. I think it was Rumi or Ali Radhiyallahu Anhu, they mentioned that you live in a universe, but there's a universe that lives inside of you.
Yes, it's true.
So there's a universe that lives inside of you. So I think, purpose is the foundation. It's the foundation of everything else. Because here's the thing, if you don't know your purpose, you won't value your time.
Yes.
Okay, if you don't value your time, you won't value your health either. If you don't value your health, you won't value your finances. So the thing is, it's the foundation of everything that you do. It's your why. In the Simon Sinek model, the why, how, and what. Your purpose is your why. Why are you doing what you're doing? How many times have you asked, like even the exercise that we were just doing on how many career options there are, how many nations there are. And the other thing is, why is it that you have been sent in the 21st century? If you think about it, you could have been sent in the 20th, 19th, 18th, 16th, 5th century, but you were sent in this century. There must be a purpose.
There's always a purpose. You need to find it.
Yes, you need to find it. And the question that you need to keep asking is why?
Yes, why?
Why is the deepest question. You just keep asking the why, and you'll get to the root cause or the root answer. And so I think it's important, I think in this generation, and by the way, these things that I'm mentioning, these things were part of the social fabric of society. But these things aren't taught in the education system. Because the education system was essentially designed to produce high-performing, which I call puppets, for the industry, for industrialization. They wanted mass employees for the industries. They did not want to create... So in the category champions, I call them high-performing personalities as opposed to high-performing puppets. Because when you are serving the industry, really are you serving, the beneficiaries of humanity? And this is why a lot of people who are professionals, they are very empty inside.
Yes, it's true.
They might have the wealth, they might have the money, but they
still
are very empty.
Still they are empty. Yeah, they feel empty. There's always something going.
So they feel as though they're fulfilled from the outside, but they're empty from the inside. And the reason is because we are not machines, we are human beings.
Yes, exactly.
Because in industrialization and, capitalism, what is done is it's used humans as machines to operate at a high level continuously for long hours. But the thing is, we are rhythmic beings. We are rhythmic beings. Everything about us is a rhythm. I mean, the light waves, the sound waves, the brain waves, our heart contracts and relax, our eyes blink. Everything is a frequency, the taste buds that we have.
Yes.
Smell that we smell, it's all frequency.
Hmm.
So we are rhythmic beings. We are not machines.
Yes.
And the Industrial Revolution has demonized resting,
Hmm.
because resting is seen as something that's weak.
Yes. That's true.
If someone takes a break, it's seen as, oh, he's weak, he's taking a break.
Yeah, he's not doing something,
Yeah,
wasting the time.
he's wasting time. That's exactly. So resting is seen as wasting time,
Hmm.
whereas it's a way of renewing.
Hmm.
It's a way of renewing.
This is true, and you sometimes you actually need a break. You need time for yourself. You need to time to think about what is happening, and as we were talking about why this and all, so sometimes you feel like, why is this happening? Why is this? So what do you like suggest? Because people these days, as we were also talking about stress, depression, anxiety, people feel stressed, and something, sometimes when they feel things are not going in their way, why, and they're resting, and people are pointing out, oh, you're wasting your time, and it's also pointing out their head. So what would you suggest, like, people are like this?
So here's the thing. I mean, y- the more you're in tune with yourself, the less other people's opinions matter.
Yes.
Okay? It's only when you're not attuned with yourself, that's when you become a football of other people's opinions.
Yes.
Such and such person said this, such and such person said this, such and
Yes.
such person.
Yes.
Because the reality is, no one knows better than yourself your entire situation.
Yes.
So, but in terms of stress and depression and these things, I would like to say this is a process. Depression doesn't happen overnight. It's not like you wake up in the morning, you say, I'm depressed.
Yes.
It doesn't happen like that. It's actually a process.
Yes.
And what is the process? If I break it down, it begins with a disturbance. It begins with a disturbance in your soul. And that disturbance with time leads to tension. So it leads to anxiety. You become anxious. Okay? Then anxiety will lead to tension. Your body will become tense. Then it will lead to stress. And then it will lead to depression. And in energy medicine, how it essentially works is that when your electromagnetic field is disturbed, then what essentially happens is, eventually, after being anxious, your body will become tense. When your body becomes tense, energy stops flowing. When energy stops flowing in your body, then you become stressed and then eventually depressed. So the wise ones amongst you will identify the things at the root cause. What is causing the disturbance within me? They will not let it evolve into anxiety, tension, and stress, then depression. They will identify the root cause and address the root cause.
Yes.
So but most of this goes down to being people that reflect. Unfortunately, for example, we do workshops in the Academy of Champions, short workshops, like Forgiveness Friday. We on Fridays we get together and we do forgiveness meditation.
Wow.
And then we do workshops on gratitude attitude, be people that are grateful. Then we do one on meditation mastery. Then we do one on relationship rules, and then networking, etc. But the point is, these things that I'm mentioning, these things are not part of your education system.
No, not at all. Seriously.
So this is the issue. We need to make these things that were an integral part of the social fabric, we need to reintroduce these things back into society.
Yes. So, all right, as today we've talked about all these important topics, and in the end we were talking about all the stress and all these things. Many people out there would be experiencing this thing. So in the end, from my side, I would suggest that the more you are connected with Allah, these things will not bother you, and you need to find yourself, you need to know yourself. So thank you so much, Dr. Adeel Anwar. You taught us really, like, it was really helpful. We'll see you in the next podcast. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
So, what are your favorite quotations regarding Academy of Champions?
So I think my favorite quotation for the Academy of Champions is a quotation by Muhammad Ali.
Hmm.
He said that champions aren't made in the gyms.
Hmm.
Champions are made with something deep inside of them, a dream, a desire, a vision.
Yes.
He said they have to have the skill and the
Hmm.
will,
Hmm.
but the will must always be stronger than the skill.
Hmm.
So I
Yes.
think this is, this quotation is sort of the summary
Hmm.
of the Academy of Champions.
Hmm.
It's about people who have the resilience, the grit, the people that that have a huge willpower
Hmm.
to overcome the impossible.
Hmm.
So I think this is like the cornerstone of the Academy of Champions. Other than that, I mean, with finding your purpose module coming up, one quotation that I used to often say to myself when I was
Hmm.
going through one of the toughest point in my life was a quotation by Mlana Rumi.
Hmm.
So Mlana Rumi, he mentioned basically, I've just written this down, that you were born with potential, you were
Hmm.
born with goodness and trust, you were born with ideals and dreams, you were born with greatness, you were born with wings. You're
Hmm.
not meant for crawling, so don't. You have wings, learn to use them and fly. So I think this is a this was
Hmm.
one of the quotations I would often repeat to myself
Hmm.
when I was going through the toughest phase of my life. When in 2012, when the doctors had given up on me, I didn't know whether I was going to
Hmm.
survive. So it's about not crawling in life. It's
Hmm.
about accepting that you're going to fly. It's about knowing that you were born with ideals and dreams, that
Hmm.
you were born with greatness, that you were born with potential.
Yes.
And so we're not here in this world to crawl, so
Hmm.
we shouldn't choose to crawl. We should choose to
Hmm.
fly.
Hmm.
So these are the two of my favorite quotes.
It just totally depends on your mind, how you think and how you believe your words, like whatever is happening and how you believe. It's same thing is like when there was a corona, people used to, you know, think about, oh, I'm getting it and all. But there were people, there were motivational speakers who used to talk about this, that you just think that you're fine. And one more thing, like people who got suffered in this, they didn't, some of them, I know them personally, they didn't take any medicine. They just believed that they will be fine, it's nothing, it's fine. They were just really normal, touching and all, like not keeping distance, and they were fine. They were like, okay, it's nothing, I'll get over with this. So with the time, it was gone. It's totally, sometimes it's like believe in your mind.
Yeah, I mean, there's a clip by Dr. Deepak Chopra,
Hmm.
and he mentions that how, given the same stimulus,
Hmm.
your body produces different types of chemicals
Hmm.
based on the emotional state that you're in.
Hmm.
So, for example, if someone's happy
Hmm.
and you feed them something, that food will form different biochemicals, as
Yes.
opposed to if you give the same food to someone who is stressed,
Yes, that is
it will
true.
form different biochemicals.
That is true.
So the point that you raised is very important. That it's
Hmm.
your state of mind and it's your emotional state that
Hmm.
determine how your biological pathways
Hmm.
perform.
There's also something that positive mind, like even you're drinking the like water, and you're just with the positive mind, you're thinking that yes, like it's positive and it's good for me, like with the positive thought, and it will heal, like it will have another thing. But if you think negatively, oh no, like, oh, then it won't, like it has all the chemicals like positive, it's all according to your thinking.
Yeah, so even this was proved. It was
Hmm.
Dr. Masuro Emoto in Japan. So he
Hmm.
did, his book was called I think it was called The Hidden Messages of
Hmm.
Water.
Hmm.
And it was a New York Times bestseller. But anyway, his research proved that water has emotions.
Yes.
Water, if you say I love you to
Hmm.
water, the crystals change.
Hmm.
If you say hatred, or if you speak negatively to
Yes.
the water,
Yes.
the crystals change.
Yes.
So the point is that the more and your body is 60-70% water.
Hmm.
So imagine now living in a world which is based on a negativity bias, which basically means that it takes roughly 3 positive things to neutralize one negative thing. So if you put this in context, that for every 1 hour of news you listen to, which is largely negative,
Yes.
you need to sit there for 3 hours programming your brain positively in order to not fall depressed
Yes.
or not turn negative.
Yes.
So this is the power, and the research is there to prove this. So Dr. Masuru Emoto and I think she was called Dr. Barbara Fredrickson, Positivity Ratio, her book, she mentioned this ratio also.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. अस्सलाम वालेकुम डॉक्टर अदील अलवर. आप 10 साल से अपनी एकेडमी ऑफ चैम्पियंस चला रहे हैं. आपका हर साल न्यू बैच इनरोल होता है, तो प्लीज़ हमें बताएं कि आपका जो न्यू बैच इस साल इनरोल होने वाला है उसमें आप क्या सिखाएंगे, क्या पर्पस होगा उसमें, क्या फ़ायदा होगा सीखने में, आपकी इनरोलमेंट में क्या फ़ायदा होगा बच्चों को, और हमें ये भी बताएं कि जो ऑडियंस हमें देख रही है वो कैसे इनरोल हो सकती है.
ٹھیک ہے. تو منور, پہلی بات یہ ہے کہ اکیڈمی آف چیمپئنس کیوں یونیک ہے. یونیک اس سینس میں ہے کہ مجھے اب 8 سال ہو گئے ہیں پاکستان میں, اور میں نے یہ نوٹس کیا ہے کہ کوئی پازیٹیو ایکو سسٹم یا کوئی انوائرمنٹ یا کلچر سچ نہیں ہے جو لوگوں کو موٹیویٹ رکھے, جو لوگوں کو انسپائر کرے, جو امپاور کرے. نیگیٹیوٹی, میں سمجھتا ہوں پاکستانی جو ہے نا سب سے ناشکری قوم ہے. ٹھیک ہے. آئی تھنک وی آر دا موسٹ انگریٹفل پیپل آن لائف. اللہ نے جتنی چیزیں دی ہیں اس ملک کو, اس قوم کو, اٹس کاؤنٹلیس. تو بات یہ ہے کہ ہم نے اب وہ ایکو سسٹم بنانا ہے, ہم نے وہ انوائرمنٹ بنانی ہے. اینڈ مجھے لگتا ہے کہ یہ اکیڈمی چیمپئنس ہم کر سکتے ہیں. تو اکیڈمی چیمپئنز 8 سال سے ہمارے وہی 12 ماڈیولز ہوتے ہیں. 4 ہمارے ہوتے ہیں یہ پرسنل ڈیولپمنٹ کے اوپر, پھر لیڈرشپ ڈیولپمنٹ کے اوپر, پھر بزنس ڈیولپمنٹ کے اوپر. ان کا اینڈ گول کیا ہے؟ اینڈ گول ہمارا یہ ہے کہ ہائی پرفارمنگ پرسنالٹیز بنے. ہائی پرفارمنگ پرسنالٹیز کون ہوتی ہیں؟ وہ لوگ ہوتے ہیں جو آزاد خیال رکھیں, جو آزاد سوچیں, جو لوگ جو ہیں جو آپ کہہ لیں کوئی سوشل پازیٹیو امپیکٹ لے کر آئیں سوسائٹی میں. تو وہ ہم بنانا چاہتے ہیں. اور اس کے ساتھ ساتھ سیریس سوشل انٹرپرینور میں اکثر کہتا ہوں وہ کون ہوتے ہیں. ہم چاہتے ہیں کہ وہ لوگ آئیں, بزنس سیٹ کریں اور ملٹیپل بزنس سیٹ کریں, مگر سوشل کازز کے ساتھ جوڑ دیں. جیسے میں نے اب 8 سال میں کر کے دکھایا ایک مسٹ, یہ آئنائز الکلائن واٹر کے ساتھ ہم نے فلسطین کے ساتھ جوڑا. پھر اب ایلو ویرا کا ہم نے شروع کیا. اکیڈمی آف چیمپئنس بھی ایک قسم کی سوشل انٹرپرائز ہے کہ پاکستان کی اپلفمنٹ, اور یہ صرف پاکستان لمیٹڈ نہیں ہے. تو میرے اسٹوڈنٹس اکیڈمی آف چیمپئنس کے پوری دنیا میں ہیں. تو کوئی ملیشیا میں ہے, کوئی جرمنی میں بھی ہیں, تو یو ایس میں بھی ہیں. سو دا پوائنٹ از یہ اسپیسیفکلی پاکستان کے لیے نہیں بنی اکیڈمی آف چیمپئنس, مگر میری خواہش ہے کہ جس ملک میں اللہ نے مجھے بھیجا یا میری فیملی کو جس کنٹری سے ایسوسیٹ کیا, میں ان کو کچھ دے کے جاؤں زندگی میں. اور میری خواہش ہے کہ میں ایک یونیورسٹی بناؤں اکیڈمی آف چیمپئنس کی, جس میں ہم یہ ہائی پرفارمنس بنائیں. تو یہ آپ کہہ لیں ہیں. تو پہلا ماڈیول ہے زندگی کا مقصد کیا ہے. ٹھیک ہے, تو ہم اس سے شروع کریں گے. ٹھیک ہے. جب آپ کو اپنے مقصد پتہ ہوگا تو باقی چیزیں آپ کریں گے. تو اس میں آپ کہہ لیں الائنمنٹ آئے گی, انرجی فلو کرتی ہے. اگر آپ کو اپنا مقصد ہی نہیں پتہ, آپ کی انرجی اسکیٹرڈ ہے, تو جتنا مرضی آپ کے پاس ٹائم ہے, جتنا مرضی آپ کے پاس ہیلتھ ہے, جتنا مرضی پیسہ ہے, آپ اس کا فائدہ نہیں اٹھائیں گے. بالکل ٹھیک ہے. سو آئی تھنک زندگی کا مقصد, اب اکثر آپ دیکھتے ہیں خاص طور ہمارے جو ایشین فیملیز ہیں, پاکستانی فیملیز, ہمیں بتایا جاتا ہے, ہمارے پیرنٹس بتاتے ہیں کہ ہم نے کیا بننا ہے. ہاں بالکل ٹھیک ہے. جیسے میں اپنی ایگزامپل لیتا ہوں, میرے فادر آرتھوپیڈک سرجن ہیں, میری مدر جو ہیں ایک سول انجینئر ہیں. تو جب میرا اے لیول ختم ہوا یو کے میں, تو میرے فادر نے کہا پتر جو بھی ہو جائے ڈاکٹر نہ بنی. ٹھیک ہے. اور میری مدر نے کہا پتر جو بھی ہو جائے ڈاکٹر بنی. ٹھیک ہے. تو میں کنفیوژن کا شکار تھا کہ اب کس کی سنوں, کیا کروں. اور یہ صرف میری کہانی نہیں ہے, یہ گھر گھر کی کہانی ہے. بالکل ایسا ہی ہے. ٹھیک ہے. لوگوں کو بتایا جاتا ہے کہ بچے یہ کر یا یہ کر. یہ بچے سے نہیں پوچھا جاتا کہ تم کیا کرنا چاہتے ہو. کبھی بھی نہیں پوچھتے ہیں. ٹھیک ہے, جو بچے سے پوچھا جاتا ہے کہ تم کیا کرنا چاہتے ہو, اللہ نے تمہیں کیا صلاحیت دی ہیں, تمہارے میں کیا کیریکٹرسٹکس ہیں, کیا آپ کے اندر اسٹرینتھس ہیں, تو وہ پوچھا نہیں جاتا. آپ کو ایگزامپل دیتا ہوں, عثمانی خلافت میں ٹیچر جو تھے گرافیٹی کرتے تھے, دیواروں پہ لکھتے تھے کہ ہم یا کسی پرندے کو تیرنا نہیں سکھائیں گے اور کسی مچھلی کو اڑنا نہیں سکھائیں گے. ہم کیا کرتے ہیں, ہم جو پرندہ ہے اس کو کہتے ہیں کہ تم اب تیرو, مچھلی کو کہتے ہیں اڑو. تو بیسکلی they would graffiti that we would not force any bird to swim and any fish to fly. تو جو اللہ نے آپ کی نیچرل انسٹنکٹس بنائی ہیں, جو آپ کی نیچرل ٹینڈنسیز ہیں, جو آپ کی اسٹرینتھس ہیں, ان کے اوپر فوکس کرنا چاہیے. اس میں ہی حکمت ہے, یو نو. اینڈ سو وی ول بی ورکنگ کلوزلی. اب یہ جو میں اکیڈمی چیمپئنز میں ہمارا کوہارٹ ہوتا ہے, جو بھی انرول ہوتا ہے اس کو ایکسیس مل جاتا ہے. ہماری ایک ہے اکیڈمی چیمپئنز ٹرائب, ایک ہمارا گروپ ہے واٹس ایپ میں, جس میں نے یہ 6 سالوں میں ہائی پرفارمرز اکٹھے کیے ہوئے ہیں, جو ایک دوسرے کو موٹیویٹ رکھتے ہیں ہر روز, ٹھیک ہے, انسپائر کرتے ہیں ایک دوسرے کو, امپاور کرتے ہیں. تو وہ آپ کو ایکسیس مل جائے گا اس کمیونٹی کا جو پاکستان میں ہے. اور ابھی ہم باہر بھی اب ایکسپینڈ کر رہے ہیں. اس لیے جب میں باہر تھا اس وقت واٹس ایپ اتنا کامن نہیں تھا, اب واٹس ایپ گروپس کمیونٹیز ایکسیٹرا بن گئی ہیں. تو ایک چیز یہ ہے, اور دوسری چیز یہ ہے کہ دیکھیں جب آپ انرول ہوتے ہیں اکیڈمی چیمپئنز میں, آپ کو لائف ٹائم ایک ممبرشپ مل جاتی ہے ایک کمیونٹی کے ساتھ جو ہائی پرفارمرز ہیں. بیکاز ہائی پرفارمرز کریٹ ہائی پرفارمرز جسٹ ایز لیڈرز کریٹ ادر لیڈرز.
یس,
ٹھیک ہے. تو وہ جو جرنی ہے اور وہ جو کمیونٹی ہے, وہ اکیڈمی آف چیمپئنز جو آپ کو آفر کر سکتی ہے. مجھے نہیں لگتا کہ کوئی اور کمیونٹی ہے, مجھے 8 سال ہو گئے پاکستان میں, جس نے اتنے ہائی پرفارمرز اکٹھے کیے ہوں. I think I'm one of the few blessed people in Pakistan that have collected. لوگ کہتے ہیں کہ آپ کی جو اسٹوڈنٹس ہیں کم ہے نمبر میں, مگر کوالٹی بہت ہائی ہے.
کوالٹی اور کوانٹٹی.
Yes, because that's the philosophy that I operate on. کہ کام کم کرو مگر اچھا کرو.
اچھا کرو, بالکل ایسے ہی ہونا چاہیے.
So it should be, I always give preference to quality over quantity. And this is a hallmark of all my, pretty much all my projects. کہ کم کام ہو رہا ہے مگر صاف ستھرا ہو رہا ہے, بہت ہائی اسٹینڈرڈ کا ہو رہا ہے. So and lastly, how to enroll. Enroll, کوئی فارم کا لنک آپ کے ساتھ شیئر کر دیں گے, اور آپ انرول کر سکتے ہیں. آپ یہ کر سکتے ہیں کہ تینوں سیریز کے لیے انرول کر سکتے ہیں, پرسنل, لیڈرشپ, بزنس ڈیولپمنٹ, آپ تینوں کے لیے کر سکتے ہیں. 12 ماڈیولس کر سکتے ہیں. یا اگر آپ چاہتے ہیں کہ صرف میں نے پرسنل کرنا ہے فی الحال, آپ وہ کر سکتے ہیں. پھر لیڈرشپ, it's all up to you how you would like to enroll. We give discounts on those that would like the full 12 modules. تو یہ ہے کہ وہ فارم کا لنک آپ کے ساتھ شیئر کر دیں گے.
All right, that's really good. So I hope so there will be a link in the description. Please go on the link, please check. And as he said کہ آپ کو بہت اچھا ڈسکاؤنٹ وغیرہ بھی ملے گا, تو پلیز چیک آؤٹ. اور جتنی انہوں نے اپنے ماڈیولس کی اتنی امپورٹنٹ باتیں بتائی ہیں, تو وہ تو بہت امپورٹنٹ ہے. لائک دیز ڈیز یہاں پہ ایسا آپ کو سیکھنے کو نہیں ملتا. تو آپ جائیں, چیک کریں. اینڈ تھینک یو سو مچ ڈاکٹر عدیل انور, آپ نے اتنی امپورٹنٹ باتیں ہمیں بتائیں. تھینک یو سو مچ.